What is up, Mathmaniacs? Here we go. This is section 2.3a, graph equations of lines. And just as a reminder, we've got slope-intercept form, which looks like this. M is the slope, and B is the y-intercept. Here we go. So instructions might say graph the equation in slope-intercept form, and you know what this looks like. This is going to be, in this particular case, I'm going to choose 0, 1, 2. So if we could say that if x is 0, then that would be negative 2 times 0 plus 1, which is just 0 plus 1. So the y value is 1. Choose 1 next, and you go negative 2 times 1 plus 1, which is negative 2 plus 1, or just negative 1 as a y value. And then I'm going to choose 2 also. And negative 2 times 2 plus 1 gives you negative 4 plus 1, and I'll let you figure out what that is. Anyway, you can plot those points. 0, comma 1, 1, comma negative 1, and 2 down here, whatever's under the red dot. And there's your line. We're going to equation table graph. Next, here there's no reason why I can't just choose 0, 1, 2 again. So I'm going to choose 0 and get negative 0 minus 3, which is negative 3. Negative 1 minus 3, which is the same thing as negative 1 plus negative 3. I'm going to keep change flip there so that I get addition. And same signs, add and keep the sign. So 1 plus 3 is 4 to get negative 4. Then 2 is going to be 2 minus 3 again. Same signs, add and keep. Different signs, subtract. Keep the sign of the bigger number, then you'll be exact. You know the song. I'm going to plot the points 0, comma negative 3. And then 1, comma negative 4. And then 2, comma negative 5. And connect the dots. There they are. Again, mathematically, we only really need 2 points to draw a straight line, but from a studentship point of view, I like to do 3 just because I get a little bit of redundancy, and if they happen to be in a straight line, then I know I'm doing something right. 0, there's no numbers here. 0, y equals 0. If x equals 1, then y equals 1. If x equals 2, then y equals 2. I'm going to plot those, and this is what it looks like. 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2. This f thing, this function, remember, this is not multiplication right here. This is function notation. It's supposed to tell you that the name of the function is f. The input, whatever it is, it's going to be right here. Right now it's just a variable. And then this equal sign says everything over here is the rule. It's how you produce the output. But we're going to do the table in a very similar way. If x is 0, then we say f of 0. That's how you read it. That's how you pronounce this. Say it with me, everybody. F of 0. Good. So then we get negative 2/3 times 0 minus 1. This cancels out, and it's just going to be negative 1. I see this fraction here. If I go 0, 1, 2 here, the next number would be 1. And I'd have negative 2/3 minus 1. And yikes, that's a pretty ugly fraction. You could do it. It would give you the right answer, but I think what I'd rather do to make things a little easier is choose number 3. F of 3. If 3 is the input, then we've got negative 2/3 times 3, and these 3's cancel out. And maybe it's hard to see because there's actually not a fraction. But if you turned it into a fraction, it would be 3 over 1, and the 3's would cancel out, and you're just left with negative 2 minus 1, which is negative 3. Much easier to plot. And so because of this 3 down here, I'm going to go 0, 3, 6. I'm going to go increasing by 3 every time. So I got 6 here, f of 6. This means I'm going to take 6 as the input, put it into the f function, and this equation symbol says the rule is over here. Negative 2/3 times 6. Well, it's the same deal. We got 6. You could turn the 6 into 6 over 1, and the 6 and the 3 would cancel. You would be left with a 2. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. When you subtract 1, you get negative 5. Here's what it looks like. And you can see 0, negative 1, 3, negative 3, 6, negative 5. It's actually going down, which we anticipate. We recognize this is a negative slope. So, and it's going down, down 2 over 3. Down 2 over 3, down 2 over 3, which is what we'd expect from this slope. Yay. All right, next, tell whether the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. we've got one line which is defined by these 2 points, and then another line which is defined by these 2 points here. Well, the first thing we got to do, if we want to find out whether they're parallel, perpendicular, or neither, we have to look at their slopes. So let's take a look at line 1. What is the slope of line 1? I don't know, but what I got to do is I got to write out my formula. And also, honestly, I should be writing out that, I should be labeling this as well. x1, y1, x2, y2. I think that would help a lot, but I'm not sure why I didn't do that. So looking at this, y2 is going to be -1. y1 is going to be +2. So that's -1 minus +2. 0 minus -2. 0 is x2, -2 is x1. So we got 0 minus -2. Then -1 plus, I'm going to change flip both the top and the bottom, because look at all these negatives and stuff. So we got -1 plus -2. Keep the -1, change the minus to plus, and change the +2 to a -2. -1 plus -2. And then here I have a minus and a negative. I'm just going to put a little, you could also think of this as keep, change, flip, keep the 0, change the minus, flip the -2 back to a +2. Some people just like the shortcut of like changing this to a plus, and that's great, because a minus and a negative cancel to a plus. In any case, we've got -1 plus -2. Same signs, add and keep, different signs, subtract. So since they're the same signs, you add the 1 and the 2 to get 3, and you keep the negative here. And then 0 plus 2 is 2. So there's the slope of the first one. We're only halfway done. Honestly, we've got, we have to figure out what line 2 is. Line 2, we're going to do the same thing. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Write out that formula. The more you write it, the more likely it is you're going to remember it when you have to do an assessment. So then y2 is going to be 2. y1 is going to be 5. That's 2 minus 5. And then x2 is going to be 2. And x1 is going to be 0. 2 minus 5 is -3. 2 minus 0 is 2. All right, now let's compare these slopes. Are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Well, if they're going to be parallel, we need them to be equal to each other, and they are parallel. Remember, perpendicular is going to be 1 positive, 1 negative, so they're going to be opposite, and they're going to be flipped. So opposite reciprocals. All right, oh, here, finally, I labeled it like I'm supposed to. All right, x1, y1, x2, y2. That's going to help me out a lot. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Write out that formula. -3 minus 2 over 4 minus 1. I think I'm going to need to change this to addition here. -3 plus -2. And then 4 minus 1 is 3. So when I'm adding, I have the same sign, so I'm going to add the 3 and the 2 to get 5, and keep the negative. -5 over 3. Great. Let's do the same thing again, last time for the line 2. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Wish I had this label to be a lot easier to fill in. But we've got y2 is 0 minus y1, which is -3. 0 minus -3 is equal to 1 minus -4. Before I go any further, I just wanted to throw out that audio check and tell you that where do I live? What's my neighborhood? I live in Philadelphia, but the neighborhood is West Mount Airy. If you've ever driven on Lincoln Drive by the CVS, my house is right by there. West Mount Airy. Let's keep going. So there's a lot of minus and negative, minus and negative. Maybe I can just turn them both into plus. There's 0 plus 3 and 1 plus 4, which gives me 3/5. Now you might say, well, what do these have in common? Wait a minute. This is one's negative and one's positive, and then 3, 5, 3, 5. They're just reciprocals of each other. They are opposite reciprocals. Okay, so that means they're going to be perpendicular. And there's also the possibility that they're just two random slopes that have nothing in common. So the possibility also exists that two lines could be neither perpendicular nor parallel. This section is hard because of the subtraction and the negatives. And if you're one of those awesome students that's a hard worker, but man, those negatives just get you every time, go slow. Write out your formula. Don't second guess yourself, but change all the subtraction to addition. Keep change flip every chance you get. Okay? Thanks for listening, and bring your questions to class. Take care.